Our first guest is a possum problem solver. After her late great dog Jake suffered paw injuries, she invented medical boots and much more for our pets. Please welcome to our show the founder of Healers Pet Care, Terri Entler. Welcome to the show, Terri.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Arden. I really appreciate it.
And everyone, as you're about to discover, pet safety is a big priority for Terri. She's a devoted pet advocate. And oh, yeah, she's an engineer, too. I love that. Are we talking choo-choo engineer? What kind of engineer, Terri?
Believe it or not, I'm an electrical engineer. Yeah. My dad was an electrician, and I just kind of wanted to follow his footsteps a little bit and went to school and became one of the few women electrical engineers in the day.
I bet that was shocking at the time.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun, though. A lot of fun. And I always had entrepreneur in my blood, creating products. That's why I loved engineering so much, because I just loved creating, coming up with solutions to problems.
I like it. That's a good mindset. My dad was a combustion engineer, so I'm a big fan of engineers. But you know what? I want you to start this out. We need to have you tell us about Jake, your German Shepherd, because Jake is the motivation for what you're doing now with Healers Pet Care.
Yeah, Jake was a great motivation because I don't know. He was a German Shepherd. He had allergies like crazy. He was allergic to grass, environmental allergies, not food, but environmental. So, certain times of the year on the grass, his paws would act up, his ears would be scratching. He even at one time had to have his blood vessels in his ear cauterized. Is that what it's called? But anyway, that's why one of his ears was always floppy after that, because it wouldn't stand up. I mean, he just had all kinds of issues. So he was what a great dog he was, but great test dog for me. And then so what started Healers was that we were hiking. My son, we went camping up in the Sisters Mountains in Oregon, and it was a hot day, 100 degrees that day. And my son took Jake for a hike, up, and it was just dirt. It wasn't like cement or anything, but it was still really hot. Even the dirt gets hot, and you don't even think about it.
No.
And when he got back to the campground, I'm looking at the ground and I'm seeing all these blood spots. And I looked at his paws, and every single pad had burned off. And, dogs won't complain. They'll just keep hiking and walking, and you don't even realize that we were just sick. I mean, we're just sick. This is your baby, and, the paws are burned. And so, we cleaned them the best we could, but camping, all we had were socks and duct tape. How many people have put socks and duct tapes on their dog's paws? So we got him down to the veterinarian, and they cleaned him up, and they gave him some pain medicine. And the treatment, it's like losing a fingernail for a human. So it takes two full months to completely heal that pad. And so for 2 months, you have to bandage it to keep it protected, unbandage twice a day, soak each paw in a cleaning solution twice a day for 20 minutes. So twice a day, I unbandaged, and they gave me those IV bags to put this like iodine solution, and you put the paw in there, and you sit there for 10 minutes and let it close. Then you go to the next paw, and you do the next paw. So, an hour in the morning, an hour at night, we're cleaning and bandaging, and the gauze that they gave me would stick to the wound. And so then you're peeling that gauze off. Oh, it's just a nightmare.
Out of a nightmare, I love that you have a can-do engineer attitude, because this is not going to continue, right? And you probably realized in the pet industry world, there was something mighty missing in caring for paws, and they're the dog's shoes, right? I mean, they need their paws to be in top condition. So how did this lead to creating Healers Pet Care? But more importantly, I don't want to get too technical, but you're talking about breathe-o-prene technology.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Breathe-o-prene, yeah.
So talk about that.
So everybody knows that when you need to heal something, you need airflow, right?
Yes.
You don't want to close off something, because then bacteria will grow. So we searched for some fabric that would work, that was like a neoprene, but neoprene doesn't breathe, that protects but breathes. So that's where breathe-o-prene came in. we found this fabric, this technology that's an open cell foam. So it's soft and it is just a really high tech, and they used a lot of it in the medical industry. And so that's why we chose that fabric for our dog boots. And we've still continued with that technology, that open cell technology for our medical boots.
So it provides the airflow that is needed for healing, but it also sort of takes away some of the moisture too.
Yeah.
Which is down the healing, right?
Yeah, because in the paws especially, they sweat in their paws. And that's how so many boots and stuff causes infections in a lot of ways, because they're sweating and that bacteria builds up. So with us, we have an antibacterial fabric that helps fight that, as well as the breathable material. So it's just, it's just that whole technology, bringing it all together and it's simple. People goes, oh my goodness, what a simple solution. But, makes it just so easy to bandage that paw, Then we came up with the gauze inserts, that go inside. So no longer do you have to buy that gauze and wrap it around. You just stick this gauze insert right inside the boot and it's a bandage instantly. And all you're throwing away is that little piece of gauze.
That's nice. So here you are, an electrical engineer, getting checked that way. But Jake said, this isn't happening. We got to do something for me and dogs coming up. And especially now, I'm talking to you, Terri, there are so many search and rescue dogs. This weather is making even places like Minnesota be above 100 degrees. I'm in Dallas. It's crazy here.
Yeah.
Pets can't have their paws on the sidewalks. As a pet first aid instructor, I'm a master instructor. I'm always giving people tips on how to deal with the heat. But you're right. You said they don't have pores that sweat out. They pant and they release through their paw pads to try to cool their body core temperature. So these are even more paramount. So we've got about a minute left before we take our first break. Can you address the heat and why dogs may be needing some things like Healer's Pet Care boots?
Yeah. So I like to call like my medical boots my slippers. And then we have a tennis shoe. So we have a tennis shoe, our Urban Walkers, which is more like your shoes, but designed for dogs. And again, the fabric is breathable. It fights bacteria. It's an antibacterial. So you're not leaving that moisture inside those boots, and that it's ways to escape. And then it also, if there is moisture in there, it's not going to turn into bacteria, which will cause infection. Right. So yeah. So you need both. You need slippers for in the house, and then the Urban Walker tennis shoes for outside walking around.
I love this.